Have you ever had that moment that you remember that's so embarrassing, like so cringe, like you just want yourself and everyone else who witnessed to it forget about it? Well, one day in lecture, I can't remember what class it was for exactly, but I opened my laptop and right in front of me on the screen with the audio on full blast was Netflix. Or anyway, no, that didn't happen. But in middle school, I can tell you this, I would always second guess myself. I'd write down on my planner like what the homework was. Like for instance, in one class, I opened the door, I saw what was on the homework, and then I went off to my next class. But in passing period, I decided to go back to that class and then look at it again for 10 seconds. And then look at it again for 10 seconds. It was like I was doing research or something. I don't know why. Like it just never clicked for me. There was this other moment actually for my science class. So I wrote down the homework, but then when I got home, my home is like a 10-minute walk from the school, from my middle school. I ended up, picking up the phone and calling the administration office. And turns out the vice principal picked up, and then I asked her for clarification, which is how I justified things, to go up to my science teacher's classroom and tell me what was on the whiteboard for homework, even though I know I had the homework written down. It's just clarification. And keep in mind that from the administration office to my science teacher's room, they were 3 floors apart, so might not sound like a lot, but for trivial things like that, I'm pretty sure that is a big waste of time. And then you can imagine the next day my science teacher finding out about that. He's really pissed. So we would line up to his classroom. I don't know why we had lineups, but we'd line up to enter his classroom, then he'd let us in. But then he took me aside and talked to me about it. It's like, why would you do that? I don't want you to ever do that again, because that's not her job, it's your job. And then you could imagine how like oh crap, I was. Right, now moving on from middle school to freshman year of high school. It was bad. I would always ask questions, like, you know how they would say, there's never a dumb question? Well, I pretty much invalidated that quote. So I was in English class, and the teacher told us the homework, and then my dumb self raised my hand and asked, what was the homework? Literally, like 1 millisecond, I'd say, right after he told us. And you can imagine the classroom was all laughing. It was embarrassing, yes, and I'd slap myself if I could go back. And yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, it's pretty funny looking back, but at the time, man, I was pretty serious too. In sophomore year, I started to drop the whole ask the questions about the homework and started to put it in my head. And at the same time, I did that, but then I wrote down stuff in my planner and I check it off. Okay, I got this done, I got this done, I got this done. And then I look at it again. I got this done, I got this done, I got this done. Like, one time in a completely different class period that had nothing to do with the homework I was looking at in my planner, like I spent 10 whole minutes on it. It's like starting to literally hurt my head. Like I was getting a headache from that. You can imagine just looking at it. Just, it's like foreign facts to me or something. I don't know, but it was terrible. But all self-loathing set aside, they're all still past experiences, no matter how excruciatingly cringeworthy or embarrassing they are, that you can still be able to laugh or learn from, or even both. Hope you have a good day, guys.